everyone, and welcome to another episode of Divi Nation. Divi Nation is a podcast and video show by Elegant Themes, the creators of Divi, the ultimate WordPress theme and visual page builder. The goal of Divi Nation is really simple. We want to provide you with the knowledge, insights, and supportive community that you need to be successful with WordPress and Divi. I'm your host, Nathan B. Weller, and as your host, it's my job to facilitate that success by having various guests from the Divi and wider WordPress community onto the show to share their stories and experiences with you. In this episode, I'm interviewing Chetan Prajapati, the lead developer for Collective Alternative. It's a marketing, advertising, and public relations firm based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Chetan is a passionate Divi Nation community member, and if you're in the Divi and Extra Help and Share Facebook group, then chances are you've seen him posting or answering people's questions all over the place. So in today's episode, we hear his story. We also hear about how his experience with Collective Alternative have led him to switch from developing custom WordPress themes for each and every project to using Divi on just about everything. He still does some custom development in and around Divi though, and in our chat, he gives us some tips on his process and how he kind of approaches doing that development. All that and more in today's episode of Divi Nation. Here it is. Chetan, welcome to Divi Nation.
Hi, Nathan. How are you?
I'm very good. It is so cool to be talking to you. You're our first guest from India. And as such, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody where you're from and what it is that you do.
Okay. First of all, thanks for having me here. And I'm thankful to Leslie and any new members from Facebook group. They recommend me to come with Divi Nation. So basically, I'm from India, and I am working with a Collective Alternative as a web developer, and I am working with remotely. The company is located in Indianapolis, USA, and I am currently lead web developer for them. And I built a website of, using Divi theme last 2 years.
Very cool. So Collective Alternative, they're based out of Indianapolis. You work for them as the lead developer. And how does that work on a daily basis? I mean, you're all the way, I mean, you guys are across the world from each other. What's your day like, your typical day, if you're working with someone in my neck of the woods as your main job?
Okay, first off, when I started, I get some complexity due to time zone, different time zone. Yeah. So we have created one platform for project management is called Teamwork. So they assign me different tasks. So whenever I first off I work in daytime, but after slowly I compare with time zone and working starting from night. So we have collaborated with each other, and so we can talk and chat with them. So we can slowly work with each other and complete development work using my task assigned to me.
That's awesome. And it sounds a lot like what we do at Elegant Themes, where we just have a chat program. We use Slack, but a lot of people use different programs to collaborate. And it doesn't surprise me at all that you've shifted into being a night owl a little bit and working at night. That's very cool. I think that happens all the time. I think, you know, if the stuff that I was doing wasn't during the day, I would slowly shift towards being a night owl too, just naturally. So let's get a little backstory on you, man. You've been working with Divi for 2 years. You've been working in web development, web design for I don't know how long. So tell us about how you got into that just in general. How did you get into the world of web design and WordPress, or web development rather?
In 2013, I completed my engineering. Then I started my career with PHP. There I created some project using Coordinator and Core PHP. Then I created my personal website using WordPress. So I want to know what is WordPress and how can I explore more with WordPress. So I customized my own theme and my personal site. So I get more interest in WordPress. So then I learn WordPress myself, and then I have applied for a company in a local. So I get hired them. And then I have worked around 1.5 years. Then I feel that I should try to find a work using Upwork. Then I got to one offer from Collective Alternative, and they were impressed from my first project, and and they want to we have meeting and they want to hire me as a independent contractor from a full-time freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 2015 I am working with them, and for around one project came, and our designer has created one mock-up based on Divi theme. That time I don't know what is Divi, but then
You said this was around 2013 or?
around 2000, starting of 2016.
Oh, okay.
So I get to know what is. She told me this is I referenced Divi theme and created mockup. So I just referred Divi and we have purchased Divi theme. Then I just impressed by Divi builder. I say this is not a just theme. This is everything I can do from it. Then we have. Then we have created many projects using Divi, and I can say we are using Divi theme as a base theme for our every project from now.
Oh,
And
wow.
then from it we have created more than 30 plus projects using Divi theme, and more on going on.
Wow, that's awesome. So you guys, what themes were you building? Custom themes before
Yes,
2016, or were you guys using like a certain framework?
Yes, so some project we have create custom theme, and some project we have buy premium themes from ThemeForest and other
Sure.
marketplaces.
Sure. So when you guys use custom themes, were you building those for the team?
Yes, I build custom themes for every project.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So when it comes to, that's something we haven't actually talked a lot about, the benefits and the differences between, going 100% custom and Divi. As someone who has, I guess, kind of converted from using mostly custom themes to mostly Divi, what's the trade-off there? What's the benefit?
Benefits is you can first save your time. Like you can start,
Yes.
like you are starting custom theme from scratch. It will take you are starting from header to footer. So you have to customize everything from scratch.
Yeah.
So if you are using Divi, then there are many modules you can easily customize. Like you want to use testimonials, just drag and drop. If you are custom themes, then you have to create modules for testimonials, any other module. So it's basically very flexible, and also it has a very good page builder. So clients easily can add content or anything, can easily manage it.
Mm-hmm.
So there are
That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, obviously time is going to be, obviously that's the big one. But I think the other big one that you just mentioned is the fact that you're able to hand off something that the clients can be familiar with.
Yes.
And they can jump in and use and make updates as they need and stuff like that. How do you guys manage the client, I guess, maintenance or upkeep? Do you allow them to make updates, or do you guys lock everything down with a Divi role user or Divi user roles?
We have sometimes complex projects, so we arrange a client meeting. We can send tutorials how to use custom modules, or
Sure.
we have sometimes create some custom modules. Like in WooCommerce we have custom requirement, so we have to send tutorials how to use it. So we can create sometime text or video tutorials for them.
Oh, very cool. So what kind of custom modules have you guys created?
I have there is one requirement of like testimonial slider. So I have created testimonials custom post type, and I use a slider class, and that their testimonial post type can convert into testimonial slider.
Oh, nice.
Again, we have some requirements in WooCommerce. So there are like clients want to export some tickets. We have created membership website. So in that requirement, they want to customize, integrate Divi with events module and membership. So there are some custom requirements to manage everything with one place.
Nice. So on a typical project, what kind of stuff, 'cause since you're like the custom guy, it seems like, what kind of custom things do you like within Divi or around Divi or to use with Divi? What kind of custom requests or requirements do you often encounter with your web projects?
One of my projects, the client want to horizontal scrolling site. So we have created using one JS library. So We have created pages and then customized it to one page scrolling site, but it's not vertical, it's horizontal site. So another requirement, the clients want to build some glossary type or some custom FAQ. There is also they want to integrate question and answers like knowledge base, and uh, one of client wants to integrate blog with quotes, images, videos, and everything in one place. So we have created many custom post types, integrate everything on a blog listing page. So if anyone open image, then it is opening a pop-up. Then if anyone wants a video, then it will auto play. If anyone wants to open post, then it will be redirected to single page.
Are you guys going to put any of those in the marketplace at some point?
There's one of clients is very entrepreneur and wants to share his IM videos and audio to his customers.
Very cool. So let's talk about stuff that you've learned using Divi or interacting with the community. I mean, I've seen you in the Facebook groups. How has getting involved with those groups kind of affected the work that you do?
So first of all, it is very good group and I love it. If you get any problem or want to solve, then just you ask, you can get reply within 2 or 3 seconds sometimes. So it's easy to share your knowledge, like next Thursday or you can share your projects. So anyone wants to involve your project, they want to ask how did you create it, and I can share my knowledge with them. So it's very helpful to each other. If anyone have created any interesting, so they can also share their ideas to us. So Divi community is very helpful for me.
That's awesome. So do you tend to use it? I mean, it seems like you're in there actually helping people a lot instead of like, are you asking questions too? Or is it seems like mostly you're dropping like helpful tips and stuff like that?
Yeah, sometimes I need help and I ask suggestion, but sometimes I also help people. They want to help with CSS or any custom requirement like a header or footer customization or single post customization. I can tell them how to do it. I can show them steps or I can help whatever I can do.
Nice. That's awesome. We'll have to get your a collaboration on an article or two on the blog to do some custom stuff that people are always asking questions about. So tell us what kind of projects are you currently working on, and how's Divi playing a role in that?
Currently, we are going one NGO project, someone wants to help with a community. So it has donation and another like gallery and donation. Another project is going on WooCommerce requirement. So if anyone wants to buy calendar, then they can have some interesting pages like I want to calendar by week, month, or year. So it will be integrated with WooCommerce. So we are working on WooCommerce and simple requirement projects.
Sorry, WooCommerce, and what was the other one?
Another is like a business website. It's not very complex, but like the NGO website or its business websites, agency websites.
Agency website. Okay. Very cool. What would you say is an aspect or a use case of Divi that you've come across that others may not be super familiar with, or something that you've done with Divi that people may not expect, since you've done a lot of custom work?
Sometimes I customize a menu, so it looks differently with Divi things. So anyone can easily get how did you customize this menu. So I create some blurs, creative blurs or everything. So I want to make custom designs to fulfill a design mockup. So sometimes it take time, but it will easily to manage custom designs.
Let's talk about some tips that you might have for someone who's doing a lot of customizations to Divi that are sort of on the template level, whether it's headers, footers, or like site-wide CSS. What kind of practices do you have that you would recommend to others?
Okay, so just we have some changes like DB update. So we have to know what will be happen if some DB changes happen. Like we have change in header file, and next update we have changes in the header file. So we have to make sure we are getting change log. We are reading change log. So if we have remove some lines from header.php, and if we have get any update and if header.php not working fine, so we have to must know what is in a new header.php file. So we have to check what is the process if I update a parent theme, then our child theme will be work or not. Also when you are using Google fonts, so if you are using some only regular font, you don't want to use bold or anything, so you just stop the rendering of bold font, so it can decrease your page loading speed. So it will be very useful for optimize your website. Or also sometimes you can use some htaccess to optimize website. There are some rules for leverage caching and optimize CSS or jQuery files. That's
so so what you're saying, the first point was about customizations and knowing what your customizations are going to do upon update. And then you're talking about site speed and optimization. You're saying if you can get away with it, don't use Google Fonts, or do use Google Fonts?
Yes, I do use Google Fonts.
You do. And you're saying it can affect site speed how?
Yes, like if you are using only regular font, not bold font in site, you have one page site, and just all font rendering is regular. So if you are regular bold italic and bold italic, it you can check it will be mostly affect your page speed.
So you're saying like avoiding italics and bold and stuff like that can have a, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You were also mentioning sort of off the record there a little bit ago about how you use child themes and how you kind of have like a few or maybe one stock child theme that you refer back to with, what is it, one or two, or is it multiple headers and multiple footers that you can swap in and out, like header PHP files and footer PHP files depending on the project?
Yes, it's totally dependent on project. If I have not custom changes in footer, then I don't touch to footer.php file. I just make whatever I need to change. Like in only I have custom requirement in page file, so I just customize page.php or a blog page.
Yeah. So what kind of changes do you typically make to the blog page?
Like in blog page, I want to display custom sidebar. There are some.
Yeah, that's pretty. Everybody does the custom sidebar on the blog. Yeah.
Yes. So there is blog module in page builder, but it will render full page. So I have to put some another blog request using JSON or anything requirement. So I want to create any shortcode to put sidebar. Also I have some request for again every two posts I want to put advertisements or anything, so I need to make some structure changes to every for blog index.php file to show advertisement to every blog post, any other custom changes for there.
Cool. So just to recap, we've got, when you're making changes, especially customizations with custom modules, test them, know what's going to happen when you update the parent theme before you send that off to a client. Know how your font choices are going to affect your site performance, particularly font styles and the overuse of them. And then we've got, the best practice of having a a standard child theme that you use on projects with multiple versions available of, like, you know, different headers or footers, that files that you've saved that you can swap in there. Now, maybe you can talk about CSS. I mean, how do you use the CSS that's built into the theme, like this in the general settings and throughout the modules, or do you do most everything in the style sheet?
Mostly I put in style sheet. Like I add custom classes in a page builder, and for basic based on design, I apply CSS in style sheet.css in child theme.
And what kind of benefits do you see from that for your own workflow?
So it is easily to add, like if you starting project in local, so if you can easily add your things, then save and update. So it can be reading fast. Also is flexible. If you apply any changing mistake, if you add any mistake, so you cannot find what I do mistake. So if you are using any editor, so you can see if there is any mistake or any missing brackets. Like in some problem, like if one have missed any brackets, so site is not rendering. So I choose to use CSS in style sheet.css for child themes.
So basically you're saying you get the benefits of having like a text editor, like a true text editor that you can find missing, like broken code and stuff in quickly and easily, as opposed to potentially making those mistakes in the custom CSS sections on the Divi, where you might make a mistake in the code and it not recognize it, and then you don't know why it doesn't work. And that's cool. Very cool. Okay, well, I think those are some great tips. I would love to kind of stop there. We're hitting around 40 minutes. Chetan, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. It's very cool to have someone from India. It's the first time we've had somebody from your part of the world on the show. I hope we get to talk some more.
Yeah, this is my first interview on like people like you. So I just love it, and I thanks to Divi community and Divi team for having me here. Thank you very much.
Well, that's all for this episode of Divi Nation. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I just want to give another big thank you to our guest, Chetan Prajapati, for coming on the show. If you have any questions about what we discussed in today's episode, please feel free to leave them in the comments section on the Elegant Themes blog, and we will be sure to respond. Thanks again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all around the community. As always, I will be back right here next week with another episode of Divi Nation.